Hello and welcome back to MoonClan. My name is Frosty and today we are picking up right where we left off last time. We're going to be going into Moon 120 for the clan and 119 for Frostwhisper. So as crazy as it is to say, if nothing goes wrong with his current sickness anyway, we will see what he looks like as a senior today. That is so insane to me. The series has been going on for so long, so thank you all for sticking around to see it through. It really could have just been 2 whole episodes until Frost, I don't know, died by getting taken by a hawk or something as a kid. So we really lucked out in terms of him living to a ripe old age. But with all that aside, I am recording this directly after the last one, so if you left a comment or suggestion or something last time and I don't take it into account now, that's why. Just with the holidays and some other events coming up, I'm not going to have as much time, so I am trying to get prepared and ahead of the game so I can actually get weekly episodes out. But with that disclaimer aside, last time we had a lot of cats get sick, including Frostwhisper. We are down medicine cats, and probably most pressingly, Needledew, Jumbo Current, our newly named apprentice, and Storm Sky all got kidnapped by Two Legs, alongside one of our newcomer kitty pets. So Falcon Scratch is our new deputy. We are down a medicine cat, and Frostwhisper still can't have a relationship with an apprentice as a warrior because life dictates that not be the case. So fingers crossed those lost cats make their way back to the clan in some format. But I'm not going to waste too much other time mincing words. We're just going to go ahead and dive right into it with a time skip. Okay, so we're asked if we would like to retire. We can accept and become an elder, or we can reject. I don't think Frostwhisper is going to become an elder right away. I don't think he's going to put it off forever either. Maybe around Moon 130 I could see him becoming an elder, but for now, we'll go ahead and reject, and we will retire when our time comes a little bit later on. Okay, it didn't look like there was anything with us interacting with other cats under all events. So moving on just for now. Radaster gives Shypaw a friendly nudge when the leader calls the young cat's name. He watches with pride as Shypaw sets forward to receive his new name, Chaifish, and is honored for his skill. Chaifish is a very interesting name. I don't know if I hate it or not. We'll see if we like it still when we check him out in a bit. Aww. Okay. Yellowcough has killed Scorchrunner. I can't say that was unexpected, just given everything stacked up against them, but I'm really sad that we did lose them. Scorchrunner was a very fierce cat, an asset to the clan, and was one of the cats that actually outed the murderer and helped bring them to justice. I think it was Cold Shriek. I think it had to have been Cold Shriek. So to lose that is honestly really devastating. This has been a very harsh leaf bear just for the fact of how many cats we've lost or have gone missing alone. Yes, they hated Scorchrunner, but Scorchrunner was their clanmate first and foremost, and Moonfern bows their head at the vigil respectfully. The past moons, Sunbright, Primshade, Saffron Tuft, and Scorchrunner have all taken their place in StarClan. They are all mourned. I don't think I even actually ever checked out Saffron Tuft as an adult, so that's upsetting that we missed that opportunity. But as a reminder, they were all killed by the Rat King. We were overwhelmed by sheer rat numbers, and those 3 did not make it out of the 5 led patrol. What was even more scary for me personally was the fact that Lyra Rush was on that patrol, and it could have just as easily been her not walking away. So I'm really sad that we lost 4 cats in the last moon, but I'm really glad Lyra Rush's name was not on that list. So much grief and death has taken its toll on the cats of MoonClan. Ivory Twist is particularly shaken by it. As a newcomer to the clan who probably hasn't dealt with all the issues of being a warrior, they can see the glamour coming off being a very startling contrast. MoonClan doesn't have enough healthy medicine cats still. Frostisper has stopped constantly running to the dirt place. It seems their brush with diarrhea has ended. Good. That had been what took us out. I don't think I could ever live it down. It seems inevitable that all rat bites are so nasty, so Pigeon Flick isn't really surprised when it starts to show signs of infection. Turtback has recovered from green cough. Yellow cough has killed Scorch Runner. Rabbitail no longer has a running nose. Falling Whisker got a stomachache. Spruce Leaf ran too fast over harsh ground and hurt their paws. Plume Tooth has gotten a running nose. Hiccup Heart warmed up and is no longer shivering. Milky's broken jaw has healed, but they'll always carry evidence on their pelt. With the additional focus of the clan, 3 herbs were gathered. Not great, but I guess it's an improvement over what we've done before. A loner waits on the border for a patrol and finds one led by Chirpback. The loner decides to join the clan, takes on a more clan-like name, and is now called Warbler Tuft. Poppy Eye was loitering around Bliss Clan's border looking for a specific cat. This could be good or it could be bad. I don't necessarily see any reason to punish that because that specific cat, yes, it could be an interclan love story, but it could also just be trying to pass on a specific message. Maybe they're looking for a deputy or a leader for any number of reasons. Why Poppy Eye is looking for leader, deputy, mad cat, etc. Well, that's where it could definitely get a bit more dicey. But I don't necessarily think it necessary to give them a strike for that either. Before I dive into the rest, just to do our usual check-in here, we're still doing fine with the other clans. The other clans now think that we are stoic instead of proud. And we have a lot of outsiders I'd love to see invited back. We are currently focused on assisting with herb gathering, as we just saw. We are very low on herbs, and for all of the pods we have on deck, we need to get as many as we can get. And then for clearing, we have 646 pieces of prey. We only need 130. So we're still in excess, but it was not easy to get there last go. Oh, here's Warbler Tuft. They are pretty. Warbler Tuft is an adult male with heather blue eyes and an orange and cream Bengal pelt. He is methodical and an eloquent speaker. Looking around the camp with wonder, he is a former loner. He saw something he shouldn't have and fled to MoonClan to lay low for a while. So he's in the witness protection program of MoonClan, I guess. Seeing something you shouldn't have obviously can have a lot of connotations there, but I'd like to think that Warbler Tuft saw some, like really scary incident, harkening back to the first series because it's just easiest to make those connections. Maybe it's like a Ravenpaw seeing the whole Tiger Claw versus Redtail issue. So Warbler Tuft is now seeking sanctuary elsewhere outside of where those cats could hurt him. That seems like the most likely choice to me anyway. And he does have some belief in StarClan, but nothing very devoted. And we did not end up actually having any events there. So here's Twig Hair, a little bit more grown up since I missed out on this last go. She helped bury Primshade, leaving their favorite prey at the grave. She's strange, a good tunneler, and a fast runner. Plume Tooth helped to bury Saffron Tuft, leaving his favorite prey at the grave. She's cunning, a good sport, and a fast runner. Then we have Tryfish, who's got a very pretty purple cast to his black pelt. Who's never going to forget Primshade. Sneaky, incredible runner, and well-versed. For Tryfish, he was mentored by Radaster, who influenced him to be more likely to break away from the status quo and refrain from socializing. When he graduated, he was honored for his skill, graduating at 13 moons old. So, I frankly, while I'm relieved that everybody that Lyrush is safe, obviously. I do feel really bad for these three especially, just because they lost a parent and they lost a sibling in one fell swoop there with the ill-fated Rat King. So I like to think that's going to bring them closer together as siblings, but only time will tell if that's going to drive a wedge or bring them closer together. With all the loss that we face, though, we still need to lose an entire row and then some to lose mass extinction events. So nobody is safe. And that's especially true with the lack of medicine cats. Yarsar is thinking about new ways to care for the clan. Falcon Scratch is playing a prank on Milky. We'll talk to him. They're loudly blowing a hollow reed they found near the water, creating a clamoring for shwee sound that almost makes you jump out of your fur. Whoa, hello. I didn't realize that you would scare you so much. I'll geese, you weren't expecting that. Algae? Algace? I don't know how to make that pun. Hey, don't give me that look. Can't you see my genius? See, this is what I mean when I say that Falcon Scratch, as a playful cat, seems to be kind of the opposite of Needledew, who is a more introspective and strict cat. Because while Falcon Scratch is very reliable, he's not very serious, and I think that definitely shows. The crazy thing to think is that Stonefruit is one of his parents, and obviously Stonefruit was once deputy of MoonClan, however many moons ago that was now. So Falcon Scratch has kind of inadvertently followed in his paw steps. Blue Shade is teaching Kits about what plants to stay away from. Good. Hiccupart is Craving Bird. Amber Stripe is talking to themselves. We'll talk to her too. They avoid stepping around every puddle in camp after rain. Confused by the ritual, we ask why. If I'm being honest, I can't stand the look of my own reflection. Plus, it's no good getting my paws wet either. We'll compliment her. Huh, beautiful me? You mean that? I don't know what to say. Thank you. No one's ever told me that before. You are very pretty, Amber Stripe. But I could also just be saying that because I really am partial to torties. Sky Scratch is missing the warmth that Primshade brought to their life. Which, yeah, I thought that was one of their kits, but frankly, Ravensong has such a big family, it's really hard to keep track sometimes. We're currently eavesdropping on Lemon Kit, so we'll talk to him. Weaselry is complimenting Scorch Runner's fighting techniques. That burns. Ravensong sat all night at Primshade's vigil. Lyrush is feeling motivated. Snowleaf is eating prey because they should, not because of hunger. I don't think that's any measure of guilt or anything. I think he's just feeling a little bit under the weather right now. Sagbellow told a fond story at Sunbright's vigil. As their kit, I'm not surprised. Here's Milky, feeling a little bit better. She's comforted by the clanmates' confidence in the safety of MoonClan. I do feel really bad just in the sense that, Milky, had a good life as a kitty pet and then had cruel things done to her, and now she's having to shelter with the first cats that showed her compassion in turn, and obviously did their best to heal her. So I'm glad that she did get healed, even if it left her scarred. But, it's still probably not easy to go from soft plush life to being out in the wilderness and having to fend for yourself. So I'm sure that she's probably comforted by whatever safety she can find there. Moonfern is refining skills and recognizing the unique needs of each kit. During Moonfern's lecture on clan history, Lemon Kit is completely engrossed, asking insightful questions Moonfern tries their best to answer. Chardrumble just wants to sleep. I can't blame her, especially with the rat bite. Lemon Kit has tiny little paws. They're giving a performance in the middle of the clearing, singing and dancing their little heart out. From one before and now onwards, as a clan we strive forwards, we push on, and this is a MoonClan cat song. As soon as he finishes, seemingly the entire clan explodes into cheers and applause, praising what a talented young cat they are. Lemon Kid is certainly not lacking in supporters. I mean, that probably comes with the territory of being both charming and the only kit in the clan. I'm honestly pleasantly surprised by just how popular Lemon Kid is, though. I don't know why, but I'm just very fond of them too. But since we're feeling okay, let's go on a LifeGen patrol. The messing cat has run out of marigold and asks us to find some. We want to help, but we aren't confident. We confess the hiccup heart, expecting disappointment, but instead they take us on a short walk to show us the nearby herb patches and teach us how to identify plants. Hiccup heart tells us they'll be sure to ask her our help in the future. Aw, that's a nice little interaction, and it does make sense we're, helping Hiccup heart since they can't do it themselves. And yes, we are taking Lyre Rush on a date because if something were to happen last time, I would not have been okay. We need herbs from the medicine den and decide to bring Lyre Rush with you. I guess it's just a running theme for the moon. We appreciate them coming as the extra paws are a massive help. We notice how their fur sparkles beautifully with dew, looking almost like silver pelt has come alive on them. Consider telling them so. Lyre Rush sighs and tells us to focus on finding herbs so they can get back to camp. We're genuinely upset by this. Do they not like spending time with us? It's only a joke. You keep telling both them and yourself to save yourself the deadly claws to your pride. I don't think Lyre Rush meant it meanly. I think Lyre Rush was just like, oh, Frost Whisper, focus on things. Like in a kind of, I'll brush it off because I'm embarrassed way, since that's Lyre's usual reaction to us. I guess it just was a bit more touchy today that they were, doing this instead of accepting the compliment. But I don't know. But since we're helping everybody with herb gathering, let's help Blueshay too. There's moss getting old, and Blueshay leads the way to the best moss patch they know, with Frost Whisper close behind. We begin cutting off bits of moss and making our respective piles. Once they become mouthfuls, we pick up the bundles and start back towards camp. Moss is gathered. And the porcupine returns for the apprentice patrols. But the porcupine is sniffing happily through the glade, and Miss Spot points it out to Thickpaw all of the cascades on the spiny creature. Our border patrol is startled by Goose Clan's scent on the territory. We follow deeper and find a medicine cat who came to ask us for herbs for a badly wounded warrior. We hastily escort them to MoonClan camp and improve relationships with the other clan. We also run into Crooked Clan at the border. Nonetheless, relationships improve. Flipcone was tempted to eat the prey they just caught. Instead, they resist the temptation, going on to make a couple of great catches. We find a wandering dog, but with enough members in the patrol, we keep it safe. Alright, nothing much else interesting happened. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into Moon 121 for the clan and 120 for Frost. So we're gonna see us and our siblings age up. I might actually gauge our retirement based on theirs. If they both retire right away, maybe we will too. But if they hang on for a little while, maybe we will as well. Alright, all ceremonies had a lot of things going on, so I just clicked into a blank tab. But here's what we look like as an elder. We look very cute, and I don't think I ever realized we had one white leggy. But I think this is actually a really cute sprite for Frost, so I'm pretty happy with that. And sadly, Pigeon Flick could not survive their infected wound. Rumors also reach our clan that the rogue Pipit has died recently. Weasel Reed had a pretty big crush on Pigeon Flick we saw last time. And Weasel Reed has always looked up to them, and the sight of their dead body doesn't feel real. Their vigil that night is numb and cold. Weaselreed spends time by themselves, letting themselves mourn Pigeonflick in the time they should have had together. No one could begrudge them the time they need to grieve. Even though they're all senior adults now, I don't think anyone would begrudge them the time they still could have had. Especially since cats can live to up to 200 moons plus in this game. Ravensong has always looked up to Pigeonflick, and the sight of their dead body doesn't feel real. Again, the vigil that night is numb and cold. Ravensong can't handle the entirety of the vigil. It's too agonizing. The loss has taken such a toll on them that they can barely find their footing as they stumble to their nest, wailing for Pigeonflick. Oh, that's so devastating. As the clan sits vigil for Pigeonflick, swapping stories of their life, Snowleaf speaks of what they admired about them, of how Pigeonflick inspired them. Snowleaf spends time by themselves, letting themselves mourn Pigeonflick in a time they should have had together. No one begrudges them. Yarostar wails when they see Pigeonflick still and cold in the clearing. They sit vigil that night as grief fills their heart. Yarostar is barely able to move their body and has to be gently guided to their nest, fatigue threatening to consume them. As the clan sits vigil for Pigeonflick, Chartrumple wants to howl. How they're supposed to go through life without Pigeonflick guiding them. Once night comes and they fall asleep, Chartrumple desperately wails Pigeonflick's name, movements frantic as they struggle, no refuse to accept their death. I knew Pigeonflick was popular, but hearing such detailed recounts of how many cats are struggling with that grief is hard. Pigeonflick has taken their place in StarClan. One of our originals is now gone. We still don't have enough healthy medicine cats. Pigeonflick tried to ignore the smell coming from the side of their festering rat bite, but succumbed to the wound. We probably just didn't have enough medicine cats or herbs to go around and actually treat that. Snowleaf's dislocated joint has popped back in place and is feeling better. Boo. Ratbite Chartrumple has gotten at least his healed. Flipcone has gotten a running nose. Sprucely's cracked pads are better. Camp was supposed to be safe, but Sprucely found bees trying to form a hive in a corner of camp. Annoyed by their buzzing, Spruceleaf attacks him and got swarmed by bees. That is probably the worst thing you could have done. Fun fact, a swarm of bees is usually pretty harmless. Once they have a hive, they will defend it though. I hope that's just a simple bee sting and not like anything crazy, but we'll see in a second. Mistspot fought a rogue, but was barely even hurt. She got scraped up, but scrapes are better than claw marks. We've encountered bow. Like the bow of a tree. Moral Swirl's sprain is healed. Plumetooth brings herself to the medicine cat den, concerned her running nose is getting worse. Hiccup Heart has at least managed to get rid of his frostbite, but with the loss of Storm Sky, we're still probably missing medicine cats. Ivory Twist is no longer suffering from shock. Warbler Tuft slipped on some rocks and twisted their paw. With the additional focus of the clan, 6 Urds were gathered. Rabbit Tail was seen playing with a kitty pet over the border. Once again, Klee is enticing all of our cats away from the code. They need to join or get lost. The more romantic members of the clan sigh, watching the new mates, Falling Whisker and Shaded Antler, who are too caught up in each other to notice. Aw, that's so cute. Mistspot fought a rogue, but was barely even hurt. She's a bit scraped up, but that's better than claw marks. The clan worked hard to gather plenty of fresh kill, but woke up to find paw prints leading away from the fresh kill pile and missing prey. Not unexpected when we had so much. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. Fishblink was trying to fluff up his nest when he saw a thorn inside of his bedding. A prank, but he could not be fooled. I don't know if I really saw Falling Whisker and Shaded Antler specifically getting together. Shaded Antler, I could see being a very popular choice for a romance, but I guess I expected a different cat to actually be the one to romance her. Let's see how Rabbitail is doing on strikes, though. No strikes, so this will be the first. We really need to just get clean clan, so honestly, where are they? Since we are encountering them so much, let's see what we can do there. We still have a surplus of prey, so if we see cats, we can invite them in. No one's going hungry. With as many herbs as we've gathered this time, I think we are recovering from Leaf Bear. But honestly, with as many herbs as we encountered last time and just a general feel for it, I think Leaf Bear was really cold and really icy and very snowy, also probably. So I think we're just having a rougher time trying to get that momentum back. Here's Falling Whisker and Shaded Antler. They have a lot of strong feeling for one another, so I'm glad to see that. Yarostar is giving some advice to Poppy Eye. Falcon Scratch is eagerly joining the border patrol. I feel like that's a little bit different than what I usually see of a deputy who's usually assigning border patrols. So I think Falcon Scratch is doing it, but is also kind of leading by example, which again I think is probably a welcome sight to see for the clan. Blue Shade, not unexpectedly, is feeling stressed taking care of everybody. Hiccup Heart woke up on the wrong side of the nest. Looks like he recovered fully from shivering and frostbite, so no permanent marks there. But I don't really blame him for being in a bit of a bad mood either. We're currently thinking about how awful kitty pet food must taste. Well, it actually looks like we changed to being insecure. So maybe with all the negative feelings and everything bad happening to all the younger cats we've ever tried to mentor or get close to, that probably is having some negative side effects now. Weaselreed is rethinking their life choices. Probably just how they could have been there for another cat and their grief, and maybe regretting not trying to confess feelings to Pigeon Flick sooner, since I know he did have a pretty big crush. This is what he looks like now that he is a bit aged up. Ravensong had a nightmare involving the rushing river. This is what he looks like a bit older. Little old man gray. It's so weird to see. Wire Rush is trying to set a good example for younger cats. Frost Whisper, how has Burn Path been doing? Could you check up on her for me? I haven't been able to see her much ever since she's gotten older. Just want to make sure she's alright. That's fair. We can talk to Burn Path too. Flirting with Wire Rush, they purr and press into our pelt. Say it again, just one more time. Gron's pelt is feeling a sense of dread. Once again, I hope that doesn't actually mean anything, especially since they were targeted as a potential enactor of a prophecy. Hill Petal wants to get to know Swanthroat better. It's probably kind of weird to think in a clan where interactions are already limited, but Hill Petal probably doesn't really interact with all of his extended family all that much. And Swanthroat I can see especially being one of the cats he doesn't interact with a whole lot. So he's probably pushing to actually make an effort now. Rabbitail, Pigeon Flick's, actual kit, isn't directly mourning her, but is leaving her favorite prey at the grave and help to bury her. I don't know why, it just feels weird to see Rabbitail so removed from Pigeon Flick when everybody else is mourning them, but Pigeon Flick has also just been around a very long time. Just so, in the sense, it's easier to form connections when you have more of a chance to form those connections. Queso Storm finds a bug in his nest but continues to sleep. Alright, we'll talk to him then. In the rare, tender moment, we catch him admiring a small newly flower. He notices us staring and bristles. What? It's a nice color. Nothing wrong with admiring a flower. Moral Swirl is having a hard day. With Ghost Sight, I wonder if she is talking to any of these recently departed cats, or if anybody's bothering her to try and talk to recently departed cats and interpret for them. Frost Whisper Burn Patches told me there's a huge, ugly spider on my tail. Quick, help me get it off. What? There's nothing there. But Burn Path told me. Oh, Star Clan, Burn Path. Moral Swirl goes off to chew them out, who's dying at laughter on the other side of camp. Okay, I'm glad that they did fix that interaction with the dialogue because it was pretty distracting. But that is just such a sibling thing to do. Echo Dapple wants to get to know Falling Whisker better. They lose their balance and trip a little while grooming her fur. She used to do that all the time as a kid. We purred to ourselves, comforted by the fact that despite all of her moons and challenges, she's still the same cat who used to sleep at our side in nursery every night. Aww. I feel like a lot's changed since Echo Dapple was born, and that's only been 19 moons. She's still really young. Swanthroat is eavesdropping on Moral Swirl. Hey, thank you for meeting me here. Huh, no, it's nothing bad. I just wanted to show you something. Look over there. We turn to look at the lake and see the sunset flooding over the water, painting it in golden hues. I want to show it to you because I think you'd appreciate it. You seem like the kind of cat that would. I love being out here, Frost Whisper. Aw. Burn Path is having a good day. Burn Path and Echo Dapple are sharing tongues in the warmth of the clearing. Glad to see our kids are still getting along well, even after all these moons. I don't want to say that our kids get along better than most siblings because I don't necessarily think that's true. I think we just pay more attention to them out of, obligation and familial relationships. But it is nice to see that closeness is being retained all this time later. Scratchfoot is double checking her treasure hiding spots to make sure they're not being tampered with. Big Paw has been training very hard recently. Arrogant and oddly orderly. I think arrogant is new. I don't remember her being arrogant. But I would take it to mean that her training is going very well, at least in her mind. So she thinks she's probably going to graduate early. RuPaw wants Yarosar to notice him. I mean, makes sense. You want to be recognized for everything you're doing right after all. He's flexible now, and again, I think that's new, but I could just be misremembering. Moonfurners are finding skills in recognizing unique needs of each kit. When cleaning, Lemon Kit suggests a shortcut to clean up faster. The moments the nursery is clean, and Moonfern praises Lemon Kit for his clever thinking. Intelligence 3. Lemon Kit wants to be everyone's friend. Alright, let's do our LifeGen patrol. Once again, they've run out of marigold and ask for our help. We diligently search the areas that Blueshade directed and find several plants that could be marigold. We don't feel confident, so we bring leaves from each of them back. Blueshade praises our care, identifies the marigold, and keeps the other leaves to use for bandages. Well, at least we brought everything back, and are maybe a little bit better than last time. Blueshade gathers Bethany using the advantages of New Leaf. And Hickapart gathers cobwebs. Our apprentice training patrol devolves into ghost stories. Big Paw and RuPaw wind each other up, but as the time progresses, the stories get sillier, and they both fall over laughing to tension eased by giggles. Oh, I hate this interaction. The patrol is checking border lines when they hear an odd sound. We have Oblivious and Bold, so we have to proceed though. We don't hesitate before checking the source of the noise. We quickly regret the impulsivity when we find an angry raccoon. It's quite the scare, but thankfully the raccoon retreats and only wants to get away. We bring a small amount to pray back all the same, and luckily nobody is injured. We're going out, and we encounter a clearing where a lot of two legs linger. We're on a patrol with us, Lyrush, and Echodapple, and Burnpath. Okay, so like everybody that's important to us, and Queso Storm. We have Insecure, but we also have Bold on the squad. Bold means we have to proceed. Insecure, we might be a little bit more reluctant to. I'd like to think that we'd be cautious with what happened recently, but that Bold is probably going to push us forward. The patrol mostly ignores the two legs. As they hunt, we hear a yelp from Queso Storm. He crawled into one of the metal boxes. He can't get out. There's nothing he or the rest of the patrol can do to get him out. Eventually the two legs notice and Queso Storm is taken. Queso Storm has been lost. Okay, once again I'm sad we lost a cat. I'm very relieved it was nobody close to Frost though. Queso Storm was a very good friend and a funny name, but it would have been a lot worse if it had been literally anybody else on that patrol. Our next hunting patrol brings back a huge amount of prey though. Our border mission stumbles across a large dog wandering in the middle of the territory. We have to proceed. We do have Bold Cat. We try to keep watch from a distance, but it spots us. It's not as bad as it could have been. Swan Throat managed to keep track of the dog's position, and it doesn't come any farther into MoonClan territory. We have to have heart attack after heart attack today, I guess. And finally, we notice some suspicious paw prints and find the rogue that made them. We send them off MoonClan territory. I mean, I'm not exactly pleased that we lost Queso Storm. I'm actually kind of bummed about that. But I will say I'm very glad it was not anybody else on the patrol. At least everybody else, nothing too crazy happened, so... all things considered, with mass extinction events on, we have been very lucky. I just want to knock on wood and hope that that luck continues. Alright, but with that, let's go ahead and dive into the last time skip of the moon. Or the episode. RuPaul has excelled at every task before him. Despite his young age, he's more than ready to be a warrior. He is given the name Ru Clove, honoring his hard work. Oh no! Blue Shade is suddenly struck by a sharp pain in their chest and they're found later that day cold. I guess Blue Shade just like had a random heart attack. And I don't know why, but I just picture this happening while he's like out looking for herbs by himself, so he's not like immediately found or helped or anything. And he's just later found by a patrol looking for him. No one even mourns him. That feels really bad for a cat that's contributed so much to the clan, and it also just really doesn't help our medicine cat problem either, since now it's just Hiccupart. Man, we can't catch a break. And of course, we don't have enough healthy medicine cats, so cats are still at higher risk. Moonfern's gotten a stomachache, while Falling Whisker's stomachache abates. Mistspot's grapes are gone, Medusa Pelt got a stomachache too, and Fishblink and Hiccupart have gotten running noses. With the additional focus of the clan, 3 herbs were gathered. I think that also just really hits home that maybe there's just not a lot of herbs to gather. I, in hindsight, think this is probably more to do with the number of active duty medicine cats we have. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But I don't know. I also just feel like the clan really doesn't know what to look for here. Despite a long search, Klee could not be found. Not surprising. We are seen touching noses with a rogue. Scandalous. The clan has encountered Bo. Same Bo. A small flock of sparrows has decided to start frequenting the branches high above camp. Much to the annoyance of most, they drop plenty misspelled, of feathers everywhere as a preen, also misspelled. Medusa Pelt thinks they're pretty though and decides to keep them. Here's Bo, by the way. They are non-binary, bouncy with a connection to StarClan. Okay, before I forget, We are going to focus on... I actually think we're going to focus on helping other clans. Oh. I guess we can't change it yet. Next change in 0 moons. I don't know if that's a bug. But I guess we can't do anything else there, which is fine. I don't mind focusing on Earths for a little bit longer. Alright, first things first. I think we're okay here, but man, Frost is really trying to test my patience. Okay. Frost Whisperer is hoping no cat saw them trip just now. Now everybody's seen you trip. Here's Root Clove. They're currently eavesdropping on Lemon Kit. He grew to be competitive and a great decorator. He was mentored by Runtail, who influenced him to be more likely to use words over teeth and claws, think things through, and be friendly towards others. Runtail helped him become better at decorating dens, and he graduated. He was honored for his hard work. His training went so well, he graduated early at 10 moons old. And funnily enough, Figpaw is now no longer arrogant, but is instead obsessive, so I feel like just her natural progression there, she was probably convinced she was going to graduate first, only for Root Clove to move on when she did not. And now she's probably obsessed with trying to make up that time, I guess, especially since Root Clove is competitive. Okay, well, I'm really considering making Icy Fin a medicine cat. The issue is that he does have quite a few little crushes, and I'll be honest, I'd like to see him actually get to the point of having a relationship, which is counterproductive for medicine cats. So I'm gonna have to choose somebody else, and I'm not really sure who else is on my radar. Honestly, Radaster might be up there. He's sneaky, a prophecy seeker, and incredibly knowledgeable. He's got great experience. Sneaky isn't like the best trait in a medicine cat ever, but the other two could be helpful. And he at least knows where to find catmint, I guess. So I'm gonna give him a shot. We need all the help we can get. As a more senior cat, he might be, more capable than I'm expecting. And frankly, we need all the help we can get. We can only care for 40 members still, and obviously we have a little bit more than that, because this is 5 times 4, that's 20. So we can effectively care for 2 pages of cats as we are. I'm kind of hoping that Lemon Kit is maybe considering being a medicine cat, but we'll see. There's no guarantee. Yarostar almost lost a life recently. I kind of wish he had, just because it's been a second since the leaders had any kind of events happen around them. Falcon Scratch is confirming the most abundant places for prey. Hiccapart is looking forward to the Half Moon meeting. We're hoping no cat saw us trip, of course. Weaselry, despite his grief, is feeling at peace, so maybe he's starting to overcome that. Ravensong is missing their own nest, despite the ones in the medicine den being fine. Probably is maybe feeling a bit overcrowded. And I don't know, he's had a lot of grief to deal with and overcome, so he's also probably just feeling a little bit out of place for having spent so much time there grieving the loss of his family. Maya Rush wants to get to know Chirpback better. Warbler Tuff wants to critique Ivory Twist's fighting techniques. It's easy to see how intimidating they can often be. Just a single glare can discourage even the most mischievous apprentice from pulling a prank. Hill Petal saw some wandering two legs today. Look, I'd rather be eating a toad right now than speak to you, but we're still clanmates and we should at least try and tolerate one another, right? So, here. They toss a mouse at our paws and watch us expectantly. Seems they're waiting for a response. Well, thank our nephew. They give us a curt nod, and though they don't say it directly, we swear we can hear a soft welcome as they pat away. Gotta mend these bridges. Twilight Shade is eavesdropping on us. They watch Moral Swirl and Amber Stripe laugh together a little ways away, apparently too nervous to join the conversation. We ask Twilight Shade why they don't just go up and talk to them. Wouldn't interrupt the conversation, are you crazy? I'd rather die than be subjected to that kind of humiliation. You wouldn't understand, I'm not confident like you are. I can't just go chatting to every member of the clan each moon. I think they'd like to talk to you. You think so? Star Clan, I guess I had nothing to lose. Aside from my dignity, but here goes nothing. They cross the camp and awkwardly sit by until they join the conversation. Though talk is stilted, Twilight Shade looks a lot less lonely than before. I'll count it as a win. Even if they are cowardly, and it kind of shows even in interactions. Swanther is wondering how Lyra Rush is doing. Fishblink is hoping Star Clan protects his loved ones. With everything going on, I mean, can't really blame him for asking for protection. I just noticed he's faithful, so I wanted to see if he was actually faithful to Star Clan. And he does have 3 bars. Acknowledges Star Clan might exist, but has doubts in their involvement in the lives of living cats. Which is a little ironic considering his moon status here. While cleaning, Lemon Kid suggests a shortcut to clean up faster, and the nursery cleaning goes quickly. Once again, his intelligence improves, so he is now at Courage 1, Intelligence 4, and Empathy 1. Not bad. Lemon Kid is running like a whirlwind around camp meanwhile. Alright, going into our patrols here, we'll do our LifeGen first like usual. We notice an unfamiliar scent on the clan's borders. It's our responsibility to investigate. We successfully tracked the scent to Lost Loner. After guiding them away from our territory, we return to our duties, satisfied with our vigilance. That seems pretty fitting for how Frost has honestly treated loners. Red Aster gathers some plantain, and Hiccapart gathers horsetail. Mistspot takes Figpaw out for hunting training, and they have a nice practice session. We're heading out on a hunting mission with Lyra Rush and some of the others, and Lyra Rush seems to be absolutely unconcerned with their duties, instead ambling along as though the prey is going to waltz into their paws. They make it look easy, and when the patrol is done mousing, everyone ends up making catches, or carrying catches, mostly made by Lyra. They head back to camp, sauntering with a distinctly smug sway of their hips. Sure, Frost enjoys it. A medium amount of prey is brought back. Our border patrol manages to chase away a small dog, covering one another. Ooh, there's our clouds on the horizon, and we wonder if we should continue. It's been a long time since I've seen this, and I don't think we will. We do have some calm cats, and I think they'd be able to make that assessment. Okay, we hear the odd sound at the border, and once again we have a bold cat, so we have to proceed. Alright, luckily it's only a raccoon concerned with getting away, and we scare each other mutually. Bronzebell catches a rabbit hiding in its burrow. Large amount of prey brought back. We're doing pretty good on current prey. Our final patrol sees 2 kids from Clay Clan playing close to the border. Luckily, we escort these kids back safely, and Clay Clan relationships improve. I was a little concerned there since Psycho Dapple was on that patrol. That's where we'll go ahead and leave it off here for today. We have a little bit more hope heading into Greenleaf, which is fitting enough for New Leaf to kind of turn things around a bit. Obviously, we were not without losses there too. But I think overall it's a little bit nicer than it was before. And we might have some new hope if Lemon Paw does decide to become a medicine cat apprentice. They usually do when we're low on medicine cats and low on kits too. But we'll see if that ends up being his choice to do so or not. Obviously it's going to be Lemon Paw's choice at the end of the day. But thank you all so much for watching. We'll just have to see how it unfolds next time. I probably won't remember anything about what's going on, just what with finals and a bunch of other stuff also happening. So please be patient and leave me lots of comments about how you think things are going to end up going. Thank you to Parental Unit for supporting the channel, as that support is appreciated. Until next time, though, stay safe, stay happy, enjoy the holidays as best you can if we're getting there, and bye!